We're going to meet Bobby from Stevenage. He and his ex-partner had 2 children together, but since they split in 2008, this year will be the 6th Christmas during which he hasn't seen his kids. I'd like to listen to what he has to say, and I'll ask you in this hour, do you know what it's like to spend Christmas without the children in your family? And I know it won't just be fathers, it will be grandparents as well. I'm aware there'll be grandparents who, for whatever reason, whatever complication within your family, perhaps you won't be seeing the grandchildren this year, or maybe you haven't seen them in the past. If you know what that experience is like, don't hesitate to share your story. Before I take your calls though, this is what happened when I spoke to Bobby ahead of today's show. I began by asking him why it was the case that he no longer had access to his children.
I used to have them 3 nights a week for around 2.5 years after me and my mum separated. In 2010, she stopped me seeing them, so I took her to court, which was just triggered off a long process where, you know, the father has no rights to see the children. She made some false accusations, which, although I didn't get arrested for, didn't get convicted of or anything, in family court they decided things on the balance of probability. So it just sort of snowballed from there. And before I know it, it's got to 6 years.
So she'd said things in court that weren't true, that suggested that you would be some kind of a danger to your children?
And no, she said that I assaulted her in 2010. That's what she said in the family court. And what it is, even though the police didn't, charge me or anything like that for it, the family court have to give it, the family court, because they decide things on the balance of probability, they don't need evidence. So it took the family court like 3 years to decide whether or not I'd done it. And in them 3 years, obviously, I hardly saw the children.
So it's been 6 years now since you've seen them. We're talking today about Christmas. Can you remember the last Christmas that you spent with them?
It was 2009. I've seen them up until about 3 years ago. I saw them ad hoc, whenever, now and again. There was no... We had supervised contact for a while, not for any reason, which, I had to pay for, and since then it's been over 3 years. But yeah, 2009 was the last Christmas I had my children properly. Back then they were both, really little kids. Now they're not completely grown up, but they're quite a lot older now. Quite bigger.
And can you describe how tough it is now in the build-up to Christmas, knowing it's another year that you won't get to see them on this special day?
Well, for me, because it's been so many years, I've sort of accepted this is what my Christmases are without them, but it still doesn't make it any easier, because, Christmas is for children. So, every year you see the lights and you hear the songs coming on and see the things on telly and that, and it's just like it's like a punch in the stomach, and you just want it to go away.
And are you able to contact them at all over the Christmas period? Are your cards, for example, welcomed in the house? Do you get to speak to them over the phone to say Happy Christmas, or is your contact really restricted?
No, I've got no contact at all. When I used to send them cards a few years ago, they never got them. And they tried to send me a card once, and I never received it. I didn't find out about it 2 months later, so I have no contact with them now. So on Christmas Day or before it.
So they go through Christmas without hearing anything at all from their dad?
Yeah, nothing. There's no way to contact them. All I can do is wait until they're a bit older and they can contact me. It's why I do so many protests, to try and, highlight the need for children to have rights to both parents.
What is your Christmas Day like now without them? I know you say it's been so many years that you've got used to it being the norm, but during that day you must think of them often.
I don't celebrate it. I haven't celebrated it for many years at all. Absolutely nothing. Not buying any cards, any presents, not eating any food related to Christmas on Christmas Day. And I just sort of wait for Christmas Day to go, and then on Boxing Day I think, oh, thank God that's over. But this year I am actually making a little bit of an effort to start celebrating again. So this really is the first year for many years I've done it. It's just because I feel more positive this year about seeing them again.
So you say you feel more positive about seeing them. Is that because you've been working through the courts or finding legal routes to hopefully try and see them again? Or is it just that they're slowly getting towards an age where perhaps they can make the decision to see you?
It's because it's not the court. The courts never help anyone see their children. It's because I've been doing protesting. And I know from a third party that the children are aware of it, and they know that I've been doing protests to to raise awareness and all that. So, climbing on Jeremy Corbyn's roof in Buckingham Palace and that.
Oh, have you? So you've been with Fathers for Justice?
Yeah.
And
so I feel more positive about the future.
What do you think your children think about you? Do you have any idea of what they think about you and the fact that you're not there all the time, and you're certainly not there on Christmas Day?
I know how they used to think about me. They used to love me, they loved spending time with me, and now they're getting a bit older. Like, one of them's in secondary school, so now they're getting a bit older. I'd imagine they'd start thinking more in an adult type of way, and they'll probably understand more what went on. I think for a lot of years they thought that I just disappeared, when obviously I never did. I was going through the courts. But, I'm hoping that as they get older, they'll understand that it wasn't my choice to leave them, and I've always been here, and they'll come and find me. But, they must be empty as well, because obviously you can grow up with just a mum or just a dad, but the best thing is to have two parents. And if them two parents aren't together, then the next best thing is to have two parents who, even if you see them on different days, and obviously they haven't got that. They did for a few years. They haven't got that now.
Whenever I think about families splitting up in this way, and I just think it's such an awful thing to happen to a family, and for both parties involved, and indeed the children. I always think, if I was separated from my wife, and if she had the children, and if we had some kind of a colossal breakup, I suppose, where we'd really fallen out of love and had said some very unpleasant things to each other, my concern as an absent father would always be, I wonder if she's doing anything to poison my own children against me. And that must be a real concern for someone like you.
It is, yeah. But I think, obviously, I don't know, and I can't say she has, but I think the absence is enough poison on its own. So me not being there on the birthdays, first day at secondary school, or first day at primary school, and Christmases is enough poison on its own. Nothing needs to be said. Which is why I do protests and have a website and that, to show my children I'm still, I still love them and that. But I do worry about this parental alienation. It's starting to get discussed a bit more now. In the mainstream, that's what it's called. It's when one parent alienates another. But hopefully she hasn't done too much of that. And if she has, then I'll just have to work to get a relationship out of them when they come back. Then we'll have Christmases in the future.
There must have been a time when you and your partner, your ex-partner now, loved each other very much. The fact that she's done so much to starve you of contact from your children must leave you with a really strange set of feelings about her as a person. Someone that you once loved, and now she's done so much to make your life so difficult.
I never take my I never vent my stress on my anger on the mother, and I always say to dads when they say bad things about the mum, I say blame the government for not putting the laws in place to protect you, because the mother's swayed by emotions and feelings. The government is supposed to be there to help you. So I don't have it. You don't even have hate for her, I focus on the government for not doing the right thing when I went to family court, because I think that's the best way. Rather you sit there and eat yourself up with hate for an individual person. You can have hate, not hate, but you can have disagree with the government and say it vocally and loudly, So I try not to focus too much just on the mum.
You said that you're going to try and make more of a stab at a decent Christmas Day this year. Have you met someone new? Are you in a new relationship, or will you be on your own?
No, I've met someone new, and that's why. But it's because I've sat here for like five Christmases or 6 Christmases, not celebrating Christmas. One of them, I lost my dad a few months before Christmas. He didn't see the children for over a year, so that was a difficult one. And this year I just thought, when they come back, I need to be okay mentally, because a lot of people, it's easy to get depressed, and I thought, so no, I'm gonna try and live a normal life, I'm gonna be part of civilization, and I'm gonna do what other people do at Christmas, even though I haven't got children. And because, I met a new partner, and so this year I bought a few presents for my nieces and that, and a card, which I haven't done for years. So,
if there was any father listening this morning who is perhaps facing his first Christmas this year without being able to see his children, what advice would you give to a father in that position to make it through this festive period?
Well, I'd just say that on Christmas morning, it may seem like the end of the world, and you may sit there having visions thinking about what your children are doing, but it's not the end of the world. Christmas will be over, next Christmas, or even if it's the Christmas after, even in 5 years, you'll be there with your children. So, because obviously, you know, mass suicide in this country is a huge problem. 4 out of 5 suicides are men. Some people get pushed over the edge. Nothing's that bad that you need to take that step, and it is only one day. And you know, you will see your children again. It's not the end of the world. You know, they haven't passed away. So just try and get through Christmas Day, and then wake up on Boxing Day and get ready to face the new year. And hopefully that'll be the year you get your children back.
Thank you so much for your time, Bobby, and I really powerful words, I think, for fathers listening, and I hope that in your life there comes a time when you and your children are able to see each other again, and that you're able to build a positive relationship with them. I wish you the best of luck on that, I guess, that campaign that you'll continue for years to come.
Yeah, definitely, until my children are back, and even when mine are back, I'll still continue it until it doesn't happen to anyone else.
Bobby from Stevenage, well, over to you. Do you know what it's like to spend